So hello there. So in last video of this Java course, we see introduction of the course and we getting started with our first program, which will be the which was the printing the value on in the terminal by the Java. So let's simply I am just running it. Yes, you can see that our output is here. Now in lecture 2, we are going to directly move on to the data types in the Java. So what are the different types of data types and how we can deal with them. So what is data type? So data type basically use data. You can see the data is made by the two words like data and type. So what is data? Data is something like you want to store in the program, or in the program you store something, and then in the next part you will use by the referencing the referencing that variable. Like if I'm saying that let's assume this is one box in the Java, because somehow we have to store our variables in the Java or in the any language. So we there the come there that data type of the data term come into the picture. So let's assume in the memory we have this box, and we have to put something in the box so that we can reference later in our program. So let's say we have put 5 and 5 is integer. So let's say so in the box we have the 5 value, and somehow in the program we have to get this value. So we are going to say that okay, Java, make a variable to reference for this box. So now in the later part of my program, if I am calling that a, then give me the value at box this box, and value of this box is 5. And internally we all know that internally the value I do not store like this. As we know, internally all the things are stored in the binary format. So this is about data, how we can store value and why we have to store the value. So basically we have to store the value, and later of the program we are going to use them. And yeah, this is and what is type? So there are different type of data we can store in this box. So there are many data types. Like in the Java, main data types are divided into the two parts: primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type. So one is primitive and another which is non-primitive. And somehow if I'm type wrong spelling, then just ignore it. And then you can see that in Java we have two data type: primitive and non-primitive. What do you mean primitive? Primitive is given by the language itself. Like by default by default int, float, character are primitive data type, because we are not creating them. The language or any language provides some inbuilt data types. So their data types are called primitive type of data types. So in Java we have int, float, char, then we have double, then we have Boolean. Okay, the Boolean is another data type in the Java. Boolean is referred for true or false value. And as you might guess, that integer will use to store the integer numbers. Float is used for store the decimal number, and double is same for double is also used for storing the decimal number. But size of double variable is more than the float variable. Like int will be the 32-bit, and in most of Java compiler, int will be 32-bit. So I am talking in the general way. And float also will be the 32-bit. Float will be the 64-bit. Then we have char will be the only 1 bit. Then we have double, and double size will be, I guess, 16 bytes. And then we have Boolean, and Boolean will be the only 1 bit, because Boolean value either true means 1, and either false, 1 means 0. And for the character part, character will be how many characters we can store. What do you mean? If you attend the last lecture, so what is character? Character will just start with like a single quote, it's character. So how many in the key, you right now see in your keyboard how many, or how many alphabet you have that will and count as a character, one character, and total we have 256 character, 256 character, and how many bits are required for storing that 256 character. And it's depend, like in Java is using Unicode, the Unicode system. Our character size will be maybe the more, maybe not. The character size is more in the Java because it using the Unicode system. And in other language, most of language, they are using ASCII system. So we have only size of character like 260 bit, 256 bit, and then just convert it into the how many total bit we require. Like a 256 is the number and convert them into the bit. So you have to just find log of 256 on basis of 2. Yeah, you go to, let me find for you. So let's say 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 1 will be 2, then we have 4, then we have 8, then we have 60, then we have 32, then we have 64, then we have 128, and then we have 256. So how many bits are there? Like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 1, 2, 8, and 2, 5, 2, 5, 6. So 2, 5, 6. 1 for storing 2, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So character will be the 8 bit. And by 8 bit, I mean 1 byte. So okay, so just recap this primitive type data type. We will see in the code. Don't worry about it. So by default in the Java, int will be 4 byte. I'm writing capital B for byte, and then float will be the 8 byte. Character will be 1 byte. Double will be I guess 16 byte. I'm not exactly. Yes, double will be the 16 byte only. And for Boolean, we have only 1 bit. Again, Boolean is only for 1 bit because the names Boolean suggests either its value will be true or false. And for storing true false, we have how many possibility we have? 2. So we are going to use 1. And in other language, character will be 1 byte because most of language are using ASCII code. But in Java, as it use Unicode, so maybe it will character sometime it will 1 byte or sometime it will 2 bytes. And yeah, that's it for primitive type of data type. So again, I'm recapping it. So what is primitive type of data type? Primitive type of data type are those type of data type which are inbuilt given by the any language, and we can use them for in our program directly. We do not need to create them. So what are the different type of primitive data type in Java? We have int, float, char, double, and boolean. And what is int? Int is used for storing the numbers in the integer numbers. Float is used for storing decimal. Same for double. And character is used for store the character. And boolean is a specific data type. If you are coming from C and C++, so C++, so we have boolean data type. But if you are coming from C background, then boolean is a specific data type which only have value true or false. True means 1 and false means 0. And then we have non-primitive type of data type. And there is many non-primitive data type. Like with the help of primitive data type, you can arrive some other data types by in your program or anything anywhere, and it called non-primitive data type. Like let's say in the Java we have string, or in another language we have string data type. So what is string? String is the array. Let's say string is the do not see about array. What is array? We will cover in the upcoming videos. So let's say string. Let's just assume string is a collection of bunch of characters. So we can see that in the string we are using characters, a bunch of characters, and with the help of character we derive string. So we can say that string is a non-primitive data type. And likewise, other also we can create. Right now, if you create int array, then it is also the non-primitive data type. You can create list also. If you know the list, tree, all are the non-primitive type data type. We will cover in our DS collection framework more about what is list, what is array list, other things. So yeah, this is it for basic understanding of how data type works. Let me not erase them. It all in future if you want. Like here, I will make proper comment here also. Don't worry, and do not. If you want to read anything, you can just Google it. Like what is primitive, what is non-primitive. I am here just for guiding purpose, so I guide you to how we can write the code or how we can use that all, and I am here for clarifying your doubts. So let's just try to run some of this. Like, we are not going to do any operation in this video because I think videos become more lengthy. So we are just understand how we can initialize our data type variables. So just create. Let's just create main function, and by the way, in any code editor, VS Code or I guess IntelliJ, you can just write a main and then hit enter. You can see that our IDs provide our main function, and then let's just create our first variable. Let me just call you int a equal to 5. Now, as you know, as we discussed that integer only store the integer value. So if we are storing here like floating value like 5.3, you can say that our ID is all giving us the answer, and also what we have to change for this code working fine, because in background the code is running simultaneously, because anyhow the ID suggests is our answer. So we have to just write 5 here. And if you are not till this point you are not using any idea for code, so don't do that. Use any ID because it's very useful and make you more work, make your work very easy, and you can work on basic concept rather than just remembering the syntax. Let's just print our variable as like what 8 holds we see. Let's just run it. Okay, lecture, I have to change lecture, I guess lecture. Okay, I have to do here. Let's just run. You can see that we have 5 as output. Like as what will happen here, like in Java memory, and we will discuss how internally Java memory works. But right now, let's assume we have one box. In the box, we have 32 bit like 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, and at the end we have 1 0. What is the binary value of 5? I guess 1, okay, 4, 1 0 5, and here we have 32 minus 3. What was 32 minus 3? 29 0, and then we have 1 0 1. So in the memory, this how our variable we store, and we point our a variable to this data. So in the here you can see that we initialize our a variable equal to 5, and then we are going to print that a equal to 5. So, and if you do not initialize it, you can see that we get error. Let's just run it for see what error we are getting. So you can see that here is variable might not be initialized, though this is we have to initialize our variable, because if we are using it in our program, so we must have to somewhere initialize it before use it. Like here, like we can use in the form of classes. This may somewhat different, but do not think about it. We are just learning basic data type here. So we have a, then you can also create float. A float, let's say a equal to 1.1, and now we do not change it. You can see that we initialize our a here, so we cannot use same name for storing another value. So we just change the name a1, let's say a1 here, and what we are getting. Okay, and by default any decimal value in the Java is using decimal representative for storing it. So we have to convert into the floats. like it's called typecasting. From one data type we are converting to another data type. We learn this into the next coming videos, but right now I am just like, there are two ways to storing float. You can just write, okay, not remove, just you can just at the end you just simply you have to write one a small f for storing the floating value, and if I'm running, you can see the 1.1 with the answer. And same how for you can type for character, you can also type like here you can store the x and you just have to print that. Here you can see that x will be the output, and yeah, and same you can store double. And let's talk about Boolean, because Boolean is something new. If you are coming for C background or any another procedural language, let's say f equal to true, this up. Now what I'm doing, it only holds two values. Like here I'm writing 1, then it will give me error. There are two values are possible for Boolean, either it will true or it will false, and it will false. Just run it, and you can, okay, just type here a and just run it. You can see we have false here, and false returns 0 value and 1 refer f true returns 1 value. Let's see. Okay, we cannot convert Boolean into the integer, because I will explain in the again part, because in the Java we are only going to convert one data type to the bigger data type if they both are the same. Like here I cannot change it to the float because we have int, so we cannot store int into the float, but we can store here int. Like here we can store one, because let's talk right now, because it's not very lengthy process. So yeah, this is all about primitive data type. This is how we initialize, and we can use in the further future video. We also do some operation like plus, minus, all the things that we are covering the next video on each step. So don't look like till this point. You can see that we can initialize our variable and use it. And for non-primitive type, you can see that we write string s equal to zil, and if you print zil, then you can easily get the output as zil, and yes, you get the output as zil. So this is non-primitive data type, and everything in the Java which start with capital letter, it will be the class. So if you open this class, let's say open string is a class, so we will take it later on. So what is typecasting now? Because if you learn data types, and then our first step to learn typecasting, because and another inbuilt data type Java also provides. Sorry for I forget it. It is byte. The name suggests it will be the 8-bit. 1 byte means 8 bits. It will be the 8 bits number. So same like here we can write byte b equal to 10, and here you can write b. Just run it, and as it is 8-bit number, so we have only maximum value possible as 2 raised to 55. It will out of the range, because 1 byte will be what happened here, like 1 2 3. Okay, we have 2 raised to what is the formula of any range of any variable, any data type based on that byte number. It will be like 2 raised to n 2 raised to n minus 1. This will be our formula. So by that formula we easily get like 1 byte equal to 1288. It is the maximum value, and our minimum value will be the 128 minus, and maximum will be 127. This is just basic formula. So you can see that we get our output. So what is type conversion? Type conversion is a method for converting one data type variable into the another data type variable, and it is applied to all, like we can convert one data type like int to float, float to int, vice versa also. And we can also like what I'm telling to you. And but there is one only rule, like you can convert from small data type to bigger, but you can't convert to bigger to small. What I am telling, let's say we have one a equal to 1. Now I am writing f. So by default we cannot convert one f is a floating number, and we cannot convert it to int. So we have to implicit typecast to int. So you can see that we do not get any error because. And how by default typecast fit work? Let's say we have 1.1. So it is not in explicit, so we have to write int. It is implicit typecasting. So what is typecasting? I guess you can understand, like converting one data type from another, one data type to another type of data type is typecasting. And make sure when you do typecasting, the basic base of two data type must be same. Like you cannot convert int to string or string to int. You only convert int to float, float to byte, and also you could not convert int to boolean also, because both base are not same. Like int, float, double, and byte are the numbers, so we can convert them implicit or explicit both the way. And what is implicit and explicit? Explicit type conversion. Okay, there are two type of type conversion: implicit type conversion and explicit time conversion. What is implicit? Implicit is done by the language only itself, so we do not have to worry about that, but it is implicitly done by them. And explicit we have to do on our hand. Like here, if I writing 1.1, so it is not feasible to store floating value into the int data type, so we get error. Like let's see what error we get. Okay, so you can see the incompatible type, possibly logic conversion. And whenever in Java you see in the end like possible logic conversion, that means your code is doing some error in the type conversion only. So just see where you initialize your variable and where you change it for this type of error. And you can see that it is compile time error. So what we have to do, we have to implicitly tell compiler that will be the int, so it will understand, and then take just int from a 1.1. what is int from? It is only 1. Then we have character, like, and this let's say character c equal to 12. Now we can see that we do not get any error. We are storing 12 into character. Let's take 97, so that there is not any random character general. So what is 97? If you remember, 97 is ASCII value of a. So here you can see that character and int are convertible explicitly by the compiler, because base of any character will be the number. How compiler knows that you are writing C, it will somehow convert it into the number and then convert it into the binary. So this is also the case, like character also convert into the int, but not in float. Like if you write here 2.1, then you will error. Like you can see that you cannot convert float into the character, but you can convert it into character if the character is possible in your ASCII or in your keyboard. Like if you run, what we'll get? We will get small a. Okay, let's just print C here. So what we get? And we get a. Yep, you can see that. And same vice versa will true for it. Like if you write int c equal to a, then it is explicitly doing by the compiler only. So you again get 97. This time you will get 97. So yeah, this is all about type conversion, and I do not think like you need much about that. Like what is data type? I mean, most of time we will work on int. Most of time in your if you are solving DSA question or writing Java for a project, then you for project we require some OOPS knowledge in the Java. So in the, let's say in the DSA practice, if you are doing lead code, then we simply understand what is int, then what is float, and what are the, basically I'm telling what are the int, float, character, double, boolean, and byte is not much very frequent in programming, but if you have application which do not store the many very big values, so why we are going to use int? We can use byte for that. And yeah, and in the next video we are going to learn what are the different operations we can do in the integer, in the variable, like plus, minus, subtraction, division. And yeah, that's for this video. I hope you get something from this video, and if you get something from this video, please like this video, and I will catch up with you in the next video. So thank you for watching this video, and if you like this series or you want to say anything about this series or course, then comment and subscribe my channel. Like, thank you for watching this video again. Okay, and goodbye.